What is up, you guys? Ryan Brewer back here, the host of Michael Myers Reacts, and today I want to talk about Halloween 2 from 1981 and why I think it is a perfect horror film. Now, I'm going to say this again. This isn't actually a perfect horror film. Of course, it has its problems, but to me, as a slasher sequel, it is a perfect horror film. Now, I did a video similar to this on Halloween 1978 and why I think that's a perfect horror film. If you guys have not yet checked that out, there will be a link in the description down below. So definitely give that video a watch, because it's definitely worth your time if you're a fan of Halloween 1978, of course. But here we are talking about Halloween 2 1981, and the main reason why I think this is a perfect horror film is John Carpenter and Deborah Hill came back to write this movie. Now, as I said in my Halloween 1978 video, I do still feel like Deborah Hill doesn't get the credit that she deserves. Now, of course, John Carpenter is our main guy. I said that in that episode as well. But Deborah Hill just doesn't get the love that she deserves. I mean, that's the main reason I feel like this was a perfect horror sequel, because in my opinion, Halloween 2 is a perfect horror sequel. I think the reason for that is because the two original writers came back. And this movie picking up right where Halloween 1978 left off is a strong point of this movie. I feel like if you're doing a sequel to an original movie, you should definitely continue where that one left off. You know, sometimes they do time skips or whatever, which is fine, but I really like when movies continue right where the previous film left off. And Halloween 2 just makes sense. I mean, Laurie Strode just got attacked. You know, she's a survivor of a home invasion, if you will, of course, and you know, her going to the hospital makes sense. I mean, if you're a victim of a home invasion and you've been attacked, you're gonna go to the hospital. And that's another thing I absolutely love about Halloween 2 is the hospital setting. The whole movie basically takes place in the hospital, and it's just perfect. I really, really love the setting of Halloween 2. I love the feel of it, even though, you know, this is like a big hospital. You know, Haddonfield Memorial Hospital is huge, but they have like not that much staff, even though this is nighttime, so I'm sure a lot of people would be off of work. And that's also one thing I really liked about Halloween Kills. Of course, a majority of that movie does take place at the hospital. You know, a callback to Halloween 2, which is great because, again, Halloween 2 is definitely my favorite Halloween sequel in the entire franchise. But that's one thing I really liked about Halloween Kills, is that they kind of took us back to that, even though, of course, it wasn't exactly like Halloween 2, which is definitely a good thing because you don't want it to be a copycat, of course. So I'm glad they didn't just copy Halloween 2. I'm just glad that they kind of did that nod. But as I was saying, it's funny that they're like short-staffed at this hospital. We got Bud, we got Janet, we got Jill. Of course, we got Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode in the hospital. We got Jimmy. It's just a very small cast for like a really big hospital. And one thing I forgot to mention in my Halloween 1978 video was another thing why Halloween 1978 is a perfect horror film is because of Nick Castle's performance. And I want to mention that here as well because Dick Warlock is probably my second favorite Michael Myers, and then number 3 would be James Jude Courtney. At some point, I'll probably do like a Michael Myers ranking, like actors who've played Michael Myers. But yeah, Dick Warlock as Michael Myers was great. I know some people say he feels too robotic. I mean, we get that same complaint with James Jude Courtney, but I think Dick Warlock really played Michael Myers great. I mean, I believe that was the same Michael Myers from the first movie, so I think he did a really good job on that. I mean, you could probably switch Dick Warlock and James Jude Courtney, but for me, it's Dick Warlock because, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like I just have a bigger love for Halloween 2. Maybe that's why I like Dick Warlock a little more, but I could definitely switch those two around because, you know, James Jude Courtney also feels like the original shape from the original movie. But yeah, Dick Warlock, I don't know, just something about his performance I always loved, and he's just great as Michael Myers. And let's talk about the feel of Halloween 2 from 1981. It really has that same feel as the original. It's a gritty, in-your-face movie. I mean, of course, this one has more gore, it has more kills. It's definitely more in your face, but it has that same feel of the original. You know, there's stalking scenes, there's suspense scenes, there's just everything you could ask for in a Halloween movie. And I want to talk about Nurse Jill's kill. I think it's Jill, the one where he stabs her with the scalpel and he picks her up and her shoes fall off. That is definitely probably my favorite kill in Halloween 2. I mean, it really shows how powerful Michael Myers is. And that's another thing I like about Dick Warlock's Michael Myers. He's just more of like a unstoppable force in this movie. I mean, he was in the original as well, but in this one, it's just like he's more angry. It's like, you know, you go through the events of the original movie, he gets shot 6 times at the end of the original movie, and it's like he's more angry, and he's taking that anger out on all these people at this hospital, and I just really love that. And of course, we got to talk about Rick Rosenthal, who directed Halloween 2. He did a really, really good job. I just think it's funny that he's also the man who directed Halloween Resurrection, which is arguably one of the worst in the franchise, maybe the worst, even though I would say Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is worse than Resurrection. But Resurrection is not good. It's funny that he made the best sequel in the franchise and the worst sequel in the franchise. And I think the reason why Halloween 2 is so great is because of John Carpenter and Deborah Hill writing that movie. They had nothing to do with Halloween Resurrection. Honestly, I don't even know who the writer was for Halloween Resurrection. Let me know in the comment section down below, because I just don't know. I don't care about Halloween Resurrection. That's probably the one I watched the least. Actually, no, it might be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But Resurrection, I just don't know a lot about it. I know, like, the plot of the movie and what happens in the movie, but I don't know, like, the gritty details of Halloween Resurrection. I don't know, who was the director of photography or the editor or what. I don't know that stuff because I just don't care. But overall, I think Rick Rosenthal's directing was a lot better in Halloween 2 than it was in Resurrection. It was like he stepped down, or he just wasn't as good as a director as he got older, because, of course, by the time Halloween Resurrection came out, he's a lot older, because Halloween 2 was 1981, and Resurrection, I believe, was 2002. So, obviously, big time gap there. And obviously, Halloween 2 has some of the most iconic scenes in the franchise, when Laurie shoots Michael in the face and the blood tears, and just that whole ending scene is great. When Loomis pretty much blows the place up, Michael walks out in flames, Laurie's hiding. It's just a great ending. And of course, a plus with this movie is Donald Pleasence is back as Dr. Loomis. We all love Dr. Loomis, and he's great in this movie. He's just more of the same pretty much, which is a good thing, because at this point, he's not the crazy Loomis that we get in Halloween 5. It's just a perfect slasher sequel. It's such a good sequel, and I think pretty much every Halloween fan loves this movie. This is a majority of the Halloween community's favorite sequel. You just can't go wrong with Halloween 2. The more I watch it, the more I love it. I watch it every year. Usually after I watch Halloween 1978, I immediately watch Halloween 2 because it's just perfect. And the reason why I immediately watch Halloween 2 after watching Halloween 1 is because they feel like one big movie. If you watch both of those films, they just feel like one big movie. And that's another thing why I love Halloween 2, because they got the fill down. It's just definitely a continuation of the original. And I think that's why a lot of fans absolutely love it, because it's more of the movie that we love. Because we all love the original Halloween. And Halloween 2 is more of that. And I really think that's a strong point of the movie. So if you guys have not seen Halloween 2 from 1981, I highly recommend it. I'm sure most of you who watch my channel have seen that movie. But if you haven't, definitely go check it out, because it's a really good time. And I think that's going to do it for me. I know this could have been a lot longer, but, I could go on all day about this, and I don't want to say too much in case you haven't seen the movie. I do encourage you to go watch the movie. So let me know your guys' thoughts on Halloween 2 in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe. That would be much appreciated, and I will see you guys on the next video.